get down crazy. Nothing wrong with that. I feel the wine up on two ladies. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if I feel the run in the band, get drunk and show up my hands. Well, you don't know that is the plan. Mask and down, go lay with jamming. Lord, Lord, you is so lay with whining. Ask why, cause it's Tuesday morning. And left, right, woman, bam, bam, shaking. Anyway, I'm in a big jump pass. I picture me between two bumpers. Sandwich me and have me look it small. Don't have no time to ask for numbers. No numbers. No talking you we doing this hour. Lord that road. Cause if our next girl want to join we, nothing wrong with that. Girl come enjoy your party. Nothing wrong with that. Cause if you want to turn up your waist, get wild, well this is the place. You can throw it all in my face in the first place. So leave it jamming. Lord, Lord, you is only we whining. Ask why, cause it's Tuesday morning. And left, right, woman, bam, bam, shaking. Anyway, I'm in the big jump pass. Lord, Lord, only we jamming. Lord, 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 only we whining. Lord, Lord, only we jamming. Left, right, woman, bam, bam, shaking. Anyway, I'm in a big jump pass. Lord, Lord, only we whining. Lord, Lord, only we jamming. Left, right, woman, bam, bam, shaking. Anyway, I'm in a big jump pass.
Yes, indeed, and a good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And we are live with Hard Talk, and we're live on 97.5, the City Sound FM.
89.5, CRFM.
Yeah, if that little technical issue gets sorted out. Yeah. 92.9, Sister Isles FM. Good morning to the beautiful Sister Isles of Carriacou and Martinique. Devon, I really feel like I could take a little relax over the weekend in Carriacou, you know. Would have been nice. We could have go up and check Curtis. We could have go and get some barbecue lambi. You understand? Hit Paradise Beach.
And he had breakfast, and that was a weekend for breakfast and so.
And we could have relax on Paradise Beach and thing, you know, take a nice little soak, have a little drink on the beach and thing there, relax, meditate. You know, go down by Alexis supermarkets down in Harveyville and buy a little something.
You know what I say? Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
What we gonna do?
Go up in Belmont by the shop there. You understand? By the shop in Belmont up there. Could I go up and make a little lime? So, I mean, would it be nice to go up in Carriacou for the weekend, man? Take a nice little relax in a nice relaxing place. Nothing to stress you.
Never know. We may be able to
Kendra Matthew and Stewart, yeah, nothing happened the weekend in me and Devon up there, huh?
Honorable Kendra Matthew and Stewart.
Yes, thank you. The Honorable Kendra Matthew and Stewart. You have anything going on this weekend that you need myself and Devon's assistance?
Yeah.
Feel free to call and tell us, you know, we don't mind. You can tell us on air and all.
Tell us on air. Send us a message. I mean, let us know.
Even better than send us a message, send us some tickets.
You understand? That's what I'm talking about. You know, so we come up there and spread some love.
Yeah, I mean, even if you had to get accommodation, it's only for one, only for Devon, because our place to stay. And come and think, hey, Devon our place to stay over there too, you know. Devon no real people in Carriacou. Watch, stay there. Devon just walking the road and people just saying, Von.
We in Carriacou, but we in Grenada. So the same home touch.
Good morning to the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis. Yeah. We hope that you're having an absolutely fabulous day today and continue doing the wonderful job that you've been doing in your ministry thus far. Yeah, we expected greatness and we are seeing greatness. So continue me there. And I like what you're doing in the constituency. If it's one woman that is be around the constituency still, is the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis. People can't say they ain't seen her. She does be wrong.
And you see, but that's generally the type of person she is. She all through the communities, and even when she was a teacher.
On she bike and thing.
Yeah,
she bicycle.
all between different constituencies, and so by this friend, and so she's used to things. So she just find more time and to spend more time within her constituency, and that's a right way to start.
Good morning to you, Kimberly. I hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. And I'm seeing Irvin there as well, Claude and Dave. I'm seeing all of you there. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning this morning. Yes, I'm wearing a pink shirt. Yes. Need you all to like and share.
Mine is not pink, mine is brown, khaki. I hope all you see.
Like and share the live. Like and share the live. All right. Yes, folks. God. Yeah, Chris, it is. We know that you're grieving because you can't be there. We know that you're grieving. Yeah, he's grieving right now because tonight
is the
Ecstatic 3. Yeah, Ecstatic 3. It's gonna be on tonight. Yeah, that is. The Royal Grenada Police Force presents Ecstatic 3 at the Grenada Trade Center, where there'll be 11. Is 11? Yeah, 11 men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force will be vying for the title of Mr. and Miss.
5 women and 6 men.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 5 women, because 1 from the prison.
Yeah.
And the other 4 from the different houses.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, and prisons. Good morning to all the prison officers. Prisons, they're coming down for all you. Prisons coming down for all you, and Royal Grenada Police Force. All they go let prisons come in the first year and come and take the thing and go.
Yeah, and look how their prison look upbeat, eh?
They're talented. Yeah. But hey, I'll tell you something though. Officer Taylor, and then you have the officer from the tailor shop. So you have a tailor and you have one from the tailor shop. Yeah, don't watch them. They ain't behind back, you know.
Them go off.
Yeah, that West Coast kind of thing there, but then Krong City fellas, they ain't backward too. And then you had the St. Andrews and St. David crew. Remember Daniel? Yeah, boy. Hey, watch.
Daniel.
Yeah, that could be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting.
I can't
later, folks. Watch, by now all tickets should have sell out already, you know. Anybody else is pay by the door.
Yes, pay by the door.
Yeah, but still go and see if you get ticket. Check the police canteen that's right across. Devon, get them the directions. Devon is the better man to get directions. I can't get directions good.
Well,
Devon bad on that.
The canteen in town, right where the pan house is. You're passing right there by Andal and you hear the pan. Just go through any one of the 2 entrances. and just say, I'm looking for a ticket for the police concert, Ecstatic 3, right? This evening, and yeah, you sure to get it.
You know, how the pan going, Devon?
So they can't miss it. Anywhere around town you hear pan music. Not on the carnage. In St. George's, you hear pan music. That is where it is. That is where the police canteen is. Go and get your tickets. Or from any one of the division headquarters. You have in St. Andrews or Grenville in particular. You have in Sotes. You have in right down there in Granans. And so you have in Guave. Go and ask for the ticket. Even if they're not selling, a police officer will give you theirs.
Careful how you park when you go in and ask for your ticket because you might get 2 types of tickets.
2 tickets.
All right, nice.
And 2 of them you have to pay for it.
Right.
One more expensive than the other. So you know.
And it is not considered bribery if an officer stop you to give you your traffic ticket.
Yes.
And you also ask if he has tickets for Ecstatic 3. It's not considered bribery.
It's not.
Right? Because you're still getting your traffic ticket, that's for sure. So
by the way, letting you know, Officer Pay, I have not got my ticket as yet, eh?
Which one of the peers you're talking to?
Both of them. So I don't know which one of them. And I'll be there.
And both of them are superintendent peer.
Both of them are superintendent peer. So all you do, don't smile at me, you know. I've seen all you smiling.
Hey, but an interesting one here. The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Creative Arts, they present a parish youth forum. And watch, I feel like going up for that one. A parish youth forum together with the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis. It's going to be at the 6th of June at the current government school in St. David. So all the youth of St. David make a special attempt to attend that activity. So it's going to be taking place. That will be next week, Wednesday. Yep. Next week, Wednesday, the 6th of June. And it starts at 4:30 p.m. Come out, air your views and... You could, it's youth thing, you had to dress up and all kind of thing, suit and thing, It's a youth forum, so come on out and have your say on the issues that affect you as youth, but not just have your say. Make suggestions as to what you think the ministry should be doing at this point in time, or on what the ministry is doing, what you think about it. So it's a youth forum. So I didn't expect to see no people in the 80s and 90s going there. It is a youth forum. All right. And it's going to be happening at the current government school in St. David, starting at 4:30. And that's going to be next week, Wednesday. The Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis is going to be there and interacting with the youth of St. David. That's going to be wonderful, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and I could tell you it's going to be the first of many that you're going to be seeing that forum moving throughout the various parishes and so. Yeah.
And that is what around this time the youths need. They need information. They need, hope. They need to know from the representatives and the ministers and so what is in store for young people in the future. What can they get themselves involved in through the money, through other programs put aside by the Ministry of Youth and Sport and so. So it's a good thing to get out there, get information, be part of that forum.
You see, now Chris saying that how they go put them. You remember he's a SSU man, so he's saying to go put them in prison. And remember, one of the first people we had in here was the SSU, eh?
Well, the SSU,
we had the man from SSU, the SSU, RRU, SSU, RRU?
Yeah.
One of them, yeah.
One of them in camouflage on green.
Yeah, that was the first man we had on together with the young lady. Yeah, and remember them was the first two, so the first shall be first. Anyhow, right.
Watch,
yes.
Chris, and stop saying that, man. Stop saying that. Next thing you make the superintendent thing.
My watch. Chris, behave yourself.
Hey,
nice.
Depot say update depressing. It's really Depot, I'm sorry, bro, but what can I do?
Oh, goodness. Yes, and a blessed good morning to each and every one of you. Muscles, I'm seeing you there, man. I'm seeing you. Yeah, and we know it's that time of year. That time of year. You know what we mean by that time of year? We mean it's mango season.
Real mango. Watch, and you have some sweet mango outside nowhere, Sheldon. They're sweet.
But who could be calling me this on the mobile phone?
Yeah.
Whoever is, you can't come on the mobile phone during the program. I'll talk to you after. I wonder if it's life or death. Nah, it ain't life or death, man. Nobody in danger. So I mean, by the time I reached the death already, anyway. So
Good morning to all of you on the live, wherever you are, from London, Toronto,
Depot. We have to tell you that the opening of the new Houses of Parliament that has been postponed. There has been an issue with one of the suppliers for electrical equipment for the building. In fact, Honorable Gregory Bowen spoke about that in Parliament week before. That he did mention that one of the suppliers was unable to supply the required things for the Parliament building, and as such, an alternative supplier had to be found. And there's a process that you must go through when you're talking about the government service. There's a process that must be gone through, and due to that, it has been postponed for the time being until those final bits and pieces are put in. The building is there, all the other bits and pieces are there. You're just looking at those final bits and pieces of electronic equipment that have to be placed inside there. And that is going to take a couple of weeks. So it has delayed the opening of the new Parliament building. Meanwhile, all of the other activities continue. The Parliament continues to sit at the Grenada Trade Center. They had a Senate sitting last week, Friday. I haven't gotten any notice of when they're having a next sitting. But it is what it is at this point in time.
Yep. And the government and the country continues to move on. Ain't no stopping, right? We may have little minor hiccups in certain things that, certain things that has to come forward. But hey, we keep moving.
Yeah. So let me see. Oh, the St. Andrew Northeast Constituency Branch, bro. They have a barbecue fundraiser going on now at the constituency office.
At this right now?
Yeah, man.
Northeast.
But $10 all the activity. So down in Dunfermline, that's the area. Dunfermline, close to where Sir Eric Matthew Gary, in fact, nearly in Gary.
Right on home.
Right by the home there, right by the, is that preschool on the next side? Right. So they have the barbecue sale going on. So all of you, Rasta, all of you who traveling, Desmond, all of you that going up between St. Patrick and St. Andrew or traveling into areas like La Poterie and Tivoli and so on. Yeah, make use of the opportunity. Pass and get your barbecue. Get your lunch early All right, past there, the St. Andrew Northeast Constituency Branch, they're having that barbecue fundraiser going on right now at the constituency office. Only $10. You can leave 20, but it's $10, right? So you can pay with that 20 and leave the change, but it's $10. It's a fundraiser, so if you're paying with that 20, you leave the 10. All right, nice. Okay, good, nice. Yes, indeed. Open the phone lines, Evan.
Yeah, the phone lines we can open. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
It's the first Friday in the month of June.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning of June, and it's the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season, right? Which, with all predictions and so, seems to be a very busy one at that. So hey, remember the precautions. Remember what you got to do, right? You have to have your first aid kit, have your hurricane plans, and so, right, put them in place. Sensitize your family as to where they go in case of, emergency and everything like that. Start putting, well, you should have started a long time ago.
We have a tune for them, Fit?
We have let's let them have it.
Hopefully it ain't coming at all. Hopefully it stay away. But it's Inspector. Yeah, we hoping he ain't come at all. He could stay away.
At all, yeah.
People keep on telling me, don't go in competition no more. Cause they getting fed up with the result of the Masgra show. Every year is same thing, like they holding something against me. Entertaining a foreign country. Forget them and the...
We hope you have your hurricane kits together, Oh, yeah, you started the process. And so, folks, remember, those of you that send the barrels, because some people send barrels twice a year. They send around Carnival time and they send around Christmas time. Make sure that in the barrels you have various items that your relatives here can use that might save their life. A first aid kit. No home should be without a proper first aid kit. And those of you in the US, Canada, and the UK, you may more easily and cheaply be able to access a full first aid kit.
With everything.
Yeah.
Necessary.
It might make the difference between life and death for your mother, or your father, or a brother, or a sister. That hurricane kit might make the difference between life and death for them. Right? So make sure that you have a first aid kit. Send it down in the barrel. Send it down. Customs ain't gonna charge you for that. I think to save life. Yeah. Customs ain't gonna bother with you with that. Well, I think they ain't gonna bother with you. I ain't think I see that on the schedule. But yeah, no, but it is important, yeah? It's as important as mango season.
Very, very. No, it's very important,
Yeah,
have that. And
it's important.
Things like batteries and so, because we have a lot of battery-powered equipment here. We still have the flashlights.
Again, let's also let them know that when you're sending batteries, send the rechargeable types.
Yeah, rechargeable types. And
while say that, the rechargeable types with a vehicle charger. And I'm saying that in that after the hurricane, you don't want to end up in a situation that your relatives have to always try to find a shop to buy batteries, find a shop to buy batteries, find a shop to buy batteries. You want a situation where they may have, let's say they have a certain number of batteries and they can reuse them and reuse them and reuse them.
Rechargeable.
Yeah. So if there is not electricity, that they can either plug into a vehicle charger and charge the batteries, or that there are solar chargers that can charge, or even solar operated things. Another good thing to put into the barrel and send down when you're sending, send a solar powered radio. They have the radio now that it work with battery. I remember I had one after Ivan, but sorry, I lose that radio, You could plug it into direct current and it would charge. You could wind it up and it would charge, or you leave it in the sun and it would charge. I remember Nadma had a set of those and I had gotten one of those. And it's important that you get radios like that, the ones that you could either wind up and charge, or you could put in the sun and charge, because if it's nighttime, you have no sun to charge it. If you have no electricity, you can't plug it in. So you need that you could wind it up and charge it as well. So one of those radios, if you can find one of those and ensure that one of those are in the kit, that you're sending down. So things like that. There are other things like a tarpaulin. Your family can't have too much tarpaulin. Your family can't have too much tarpaulin. The roof gone. They can't have too much tarpaulins. And the heavy duty ones, they're not the ones 2-3 breeze blow, you realize it's at a shred. Heavy duty. Send down some tarpaulin. Each family member, you send down a tarpaulin for them. Don't wait until when it's in the hurricane and you have a hurricane coming or you have a hurricane pass by, when all other people rush into the store now to buy it out and they reach and there are no tarpaulins. And then you have the problem now with getting it from the US down to Grenada because the port clog up and all kind of things. So by the time they get the tarpaulin, it's 3 and 4 weeks down the road. That didn't make sense. Remember Dominica last year? You had certain communities. They had to come with the ships out in the water and throw the things overboard. And people had to swim out and collect it. I mean, in Grenada, it's highly unlikely, hopefully, that we never end up in a situation like that. But it's better if your family has it from now. So you're making that little barrel to send down for the carnival. Make sure you include first aid kit, a tarpaulin,
battery,
rechargeable battery, solar powered things, car chargers, so that somebody could plug into the car and charge whatever it is, or solar, and the radio. Because it's important for people to listen to the radio at that point in time. And people may want to charge like their mobile phones and different things like that. So you need to send those things down.
Also, on a local front, we need to concentrate on our supply of water, right? For every household, at least 7 to 10 days supply of water, clean fresh water should be stored, right? And so don't make anything, because we know what the problem is when times of hurricane. Now some may have to lock off, and so for a couple of days they may have to flush. You don't want to get caught out there without fresh drinking water. So ensure you store your water in clean containers and have them there. Very, very important.
Remember as well, if you can, those of you that are making the barrels again, you're sending on stuff. Is it possible that you could send down containers for people to place the important documents? Because you for yourself need some of those documents. The deeds, the property deeds. But even if you could afford it, and you can send one of the fireproof safes.
Small ones.
The small ones. As I say, I know in Grenada, Brighton and Miners usually sells. I don't know if they have now. I know they have from time to time. You can also check, there's a store, an outdoor store in the Food Fair Mall where they sell the air rifles, and so I know that he sells, that's Dwayne, he sells safes as well, and I do believe that Huggins or Hubbard sells as well. Well, so Ace is Brighton and Miners, but Hubbard's or one of them sell as well. So you could check around, but in case those of you up there can send a safe, because here's what. You don't want to come down to Grenada, and when there's an issue in relation to land, you realize that the land papers have been destroyed or they disappear.
And it will cost you thousands, to get it back.
Or then somebody end up in possession of it and try to pull some sort of ratchet fee.
And that happens.
Or you looking for your mother's or your father's birth certificate and or death certificate or marriage certificate, and you can't get one immediately in the short space of time that you're here because it's been destroyed. I'm speaking from experience here, from what happened to a lot of people after Hurricane Ivan. People had to go for passports, and they didn't have the birth certificate.
No documents.
Everything was destroyed. They had to go through the process to try and get birth certificate, and
it could be a very tedious and expensive process.
Especially if you're here for only a short period of time. So the best thing to do is try to avoid it totally. Best thing is to try to avoid losing it totally. My best thing is a fireproof safe. The plastic, yes, it saves it from water, but we've been having a lot of fires. You know how much people lose the documents in the last couple of weeks in fires, house fires and so? So the plastic is good. A hurricane is coming, you get it in a plastic, you get a piece of PVC, you cover the two ends, you put it inside it, and so no problem. But when it comes to fire, then self-you're losing it because the plastic will ignite quickly, and then self-you're losing your documents. So the best bet is a fireproof safe. All right, folks?
Also important to garbage bags, right? Garbage bags and duct tape and these things. These are simple things that you need to have in your possession, right? So you can secure a lot of your things, much more, things that you don't want get wet or anything like that, and properly secure them. And so always try to have duct tape and plastic bags, cutlasses and spade, and so make these things available very close to you, right? In case you have to use them immediately after a hurricane or a storm or any system, right? And so you may have to unblock, you may have to cut to get out where you are. So prepare and have these things close to you, available, so you can get them to use in case of emergencies. And so these things may save your life.
Yeah. So folks, just remember, it is Hard Talk. The phone number 440-7377, 440. First day of June, our first program for the month of June. Devon, just the other day we had fireworks firing off in the sky. It was New Year's. We're done in June already, man.
Independence, Easter,
election.
I mean, all them
Look at things happen for this year already now, man. Election come and go. All kind of thing happened for 2018 already. Who would have believed that this would happen so fast, man? Wow. Hey, and just a reminder quickly though, tomorrow, the cricket matches in the Docks Challenge Trophy. That is taking place this weekend. Remember the games? Game 1. Well, in Zone 1, you have South St. George versus Town of St. George at the Tantine playing field. St. George Northwest versus St. George Southeast at the Monjaloo playing field. In St. Andrew Northeast, you have St. Andrew Northeast versus St. David at the Simon playing field. So the Simon playing field. So at the Simon playing field, you have St. Andrew Northeast versus St. David. At the Hope playing field, you have St. Andrew Southeast versus St. Andrew Southwest. St. Patrick West versus St. Mark at the MacDonald College playing field, and St. John versus St. Patrick at the Loretto playing field. All right, so those matches will be played tomorrow in the Docks Challenge Trophy. All right, that's the new National Party. See, NNP could still be having activities. Certain other people disappear. They disappear, boss. They disappear. Also, the new National Party having another activity on Sunday. Yeah, we busy up. Not because we just win 15 seats. We can't sit down.
Can't sit down. We know I can't sit down.
No, pull it up. All forget that. We can't sit down, sit down. We can't sit down. Oh, I think we win 15 seats. We can't sit down. Yeah? Nice. Also, on Sunday, don't tell me nothing about me singing because me and all go fall out. You know, me can't sing. I can't sing. Something Devon see there, I know what he see, but something he see. You see me and Deepo, boy.
You will laugh too much when you see that quote coming up.
I'm going to look for it. The new National Party, they'll be having that cleanup on Sunday. Telescope Beach is one of the locations. Behind the cruise ship terminal to the bus terminal is the second location. Contact your constituency offices today, or you could call 440-1875, 440-1876. Speak to the lovely young ladies or Mr. Frame at the main office there, and you could get more information of how you can become involved. So the cleanups will begin specifically at 6 a.m. on Sunday. All right, 6 a.m. this Sunday. The cleanups will begin. It's part of UN World Environmental Day, and the new National Party saw it fit to be doing this project, and it's under the theme Beat Back the Plastic, beating plastic pollution, right? So it also says we need our environment and our environment needs us. So when you see a bunch of people down in Telescope, if you want to put on your NNP jersey, no problem. Put it on and clean. Yeah, no problem with that. We're showing who doing it, you know. Exactly. We want people to know who doing it. Yeah, clean-up crew.
I'm not afraid of doing it.
We ain't only clean sweep, we clean pick up too. So
everything.
So if you talk about Barbados just now, St. George Cruise Ship Terminal to the bus terminus at the rocks at the back there, and St. Andrew Telescope Beach to Grenville. Both sites start at 6 a.m. Sunday. So folks, looking out to see you there. All right, I know I'm making it to the 2. I might have to run up to Telescope and then come down to town. So when I'm down, I'm down. If I start in town and then go up.
I may have to start in town Oh, as a matter of fact,
You'll be down.
Yeah, I go be down.
So you start in town and then go up.
And then go up.
All right,
Yeah, because
nice.
I leave.
Had to
in the
visit the
morning.
two sites. So
Yeah.
it's not like I've got a choice. Yeah, I've got to be applications, chap. Yeah. So, boy, what take place in Barbados there?
Well, as I would say, never a dull moment in the Caribbean.
In politics?
And in politics, you know.
Folks, in case you didn't know, Barbados now has an opposition leader.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the candidates who won their seats and was not appointed as a minister has crossed the floor.
Yep.
And is now the leader of the opposition.
Official opposition of
Yeah,
Barbados.
Bishop Atherley. Joseph Atherley, yeah, Bishop Joseph Atherley. I think he's the head of the what church is it? I think the evangelical churches on the island. One branch of the evangelical churches on the island. He's supposed to be the head of that church.
But
So-
I think it's a good move, you know. When I look at it, it will sort of avert some of the constitutional issues that Barbados will have to go through in the next couple of weeks, and so to make amendments and so to accommodate opposition, other opposition forces.
If I were
Yeah.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley, I would still make the amendments. And I'll say this in the
Yes.
context of, you saw that it can happen. Suppose nobody crossed the floor. And there have been talk of other people crossing the floor, but they've come out clearly and said, no, we're not crossing the floor. So the Governor General in Barbados, as well as Prime Minister Mia Mottley, they've both been informed by Bishop Atherley that he is officially crossing the floor and assuming the role of leader of the opposition. But there are two schools of thought to that. In my mind, though, I think Mia sent him to avoid the constitutional crisis that they have. It would take them a while before they can make that amendment to their constitution. I think that she probably asked him. I'm just assuming it. No one has confirmed this. I'm just assuming that she probably asked him because he was not given a ministerial portfolio. So it's not like he's leaving a ministerial portfolio to go over. I think she probably asked him to play the role of the leader of the opposition. But what it does, though, it means that nobody from the DLP, the losing party now, will have the opportunity to hold any seats in Parliament, including the opposition benches.
Unless the opposition leader decides to invite one of them.
You want Bajans run that man from Barbados? He dare not go there and appoint two people from the DLP.
Maybe just
He
include
dare
one.
not go there and appoint anybody from the DLP. That would be worse than political suicide. That would be suicide. Not just political suicide. That would be suicide.
But and if he does that, perhaps he intends to just be there for just the 5 years to serve.
He ain't going to even make the 5 years. He lucky if he go make 5 months. If he goes there and he appoints people, remember that it was a resounding vote against that. It was basically these people just got 33,000 as compared out to 100 and something thousand votes that were cast. They got 33,000. I mean, under 50%, under 40%
Yeah, that was
of the vote.
that was a
23 or somewhere there.
a stunning defeat.
Yeah, so for him to try to force that party back onto the people would be unfair. If in the absence of an opposition leader, there was the option that you could appoint the people and they decide, yes, these people represent the views of so many people and you give them the opportunity, all well and good. But for him to decide as winning the ticket on a BLP, winning the constituency on a BLP ticket, and anybody that went to the constituency on a BLP ticket would have won it, and to decide that he would take somebody from the DLP and place on the... that mightn't work out too well in the minds of Barbadians. I see people already calling them all kind of names.
You know, also to as we stay on politics, though, we noticed within the last 48 hours we have a new prime minister in Spain and a new prime minister in Italy after some constitutional, for example,
but you
Spain,
see,
there was
again,
no confidence.
These two instances make the perfect case against proportional representation, because most of these countries that have proportional representation, you find them like Japan and these places, every 2 minutes you realize they have another prime minister. Some prime ministers last less than a year. Italy was going through that, and several countries in Europe and different areas that go through that.
Well,
Proportional
I guess it suits them.
representation makes for weak governments. That's my view, eh? That's just my view. Proportional representation in the format that it is being operated in the majority of those countries leads to weak government, because sometimes you can't form the government outright as a political party. Well, you might have gotten the popular vote because other parties got, you have some parties that basically have some real far out views. If you look at the European Parliament and parliaments in places like Germany and so, you have individuals that are there that like neo-Nazis and all these kind of things that form a party and have to be given seats within the entire Europe. And so you have some far right parties, racists to the core, don't want anybody from any other country or any other skin color in their country. And because of proportional representation, these people have people representing them in parliament, making laws and so on.
Well, I guess that's their way of democracy.
I like the Westminster system. I find the Westminster system is okay. The proportional representation, maybe in a form or format, but how some people talking about it, look what's going on there. If you have a prime minister this week and then next week you hear that prime minister gone and next one not to come in, and that kind of thing. Or members of the coalition shift their allegiance from one side to a next side, and therefore the other side end up having the prime minister. Or they say, okay, a small party that holds just a couple seats, but it's the seats that make the difference, decides, okay, we are kingmaker, so we want the top position. You have to make us our person prime minister, and you could get different ministries and so, but we want this specific ministry, or we want a deal because we have our agenda we want to push. I don't know if that's the best thing. In my mind, I don't know if that's the best thing. Yeah?
Well, I guess they are accustomed to that. Italy has had so many governments, change of governments within the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing. But
I'm looking for the statement by Depot, like he move it up. Let me see the Depot. I ain't seen that statement on the way there. Man, not the mango thing there. It's somewhere wrong. Yeah. Oh yes, 440. Hey, D'Angelo. Good morning, bro. From the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Hope that you're having a wonderful day today, man. Nice. Right. Kimberly, what kind of question you asking me, girl? Behave yourself. Nice. Kathleen. Kathleen, good morning to you as well. Yeah, so I think that they're making the case, in my mind, for me as an individual. I'm speaking about me. I'm not speaking on behalf of the party on this one. Making it clear, I'm speaking on behalf of me. When it comes to proportional representation, I don't believe in it. I think we're too much of a small country for proportional representation. Yeah? There can be other mechanisms that can be used so that the opposition can have their voice in things. But the proportional representation, I ain't seen it. I ain't believe in that one. Be honest.
And talking about proportional representation, we come to a thing about the Constitution. Just a reminder to all that be prepared that very soon we may be going back into the whole constitutional motion, vibes, and so where we be basically going to revisit the whole question of the CCJ, and so, and I really want to urge all citizens, right, who can vote, who can share information, to exercise that ability to share information to your fellow brothers. Get them more involved in the process. Let them know what this whole thing is all about. And so, right? The government alone can't do it. And so, but hey, good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon. How are everything?
Not too bad, my friend.
All right. Sheldon, the season begin, the hurricane season begin today, and I want to let the Grenada people know that they should start preparing the family plan, because it's important to have a family plan. It's important because you cannot prepare something when the hurricane arrives. So you have to prepare before. And I want people to know that hurricane disaster preparedness begins with us. It begins with us. Everybody, every family should prepare a plan for the event of something hit our nation. Because we cannot prepare when a hurricane hit our nation. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say, the what you just said about with Barbados, I like your move. Where you have one seat cross over, where you keep out the DLP. I say me 100%. See that he cross over and to go and get two or three senators from the DLP. I see that would be a real problem from he. And as the people of Barbados elect our government, a party with 30 seats, and he going to do that, that will be disaster. Alright? That will be disaster. Alright? So if you could get two other senators, but not those who lost the seat for the DLP. Alright? And I like a movie crossover. As you said, with that, my belief, alright? Like if they could ask him to do it. But that's my belief, I don't see that will happen. Alright? And Brother Shell, I want to say, as we prepare for the season, let us be wise. Let us keep focus on what is ahead of us and where this government is taking our country. It's taking our country on a forward move, and we have to work together with the government to help bring the peace and prosperity and development to everyone throughout our island. And Brother Shell, I want to say again, Sunday coming is the St. Luke's Anglican harvest at Granville. I just want to make an announcement about it for him, please, Sheldon.
Okay, no problem.
All right?
All right.
All right, my friend. Have a good day.
Wonderful.
Yes, indeed. So that's happening this Sunday and also in Carriacou. Yeah, Carriacou tomorrow, June the 2nd from 6 a.m. They're going to have we was in Smart. We was kind of trying to reach up there for that too. But anyway, Carriacou and Petit Martinique branch, they're presenting that brunch tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be taking place in front of the Public Works building. Down in Hillsborough there. In front of the Public Works building, fry bakes, whole wheat bakes, coconut bakes, saltfish sauce, fried cuckoo, blood pudding, provision, saltfish sauce, smoke herring, and of course, you'll be seeing the Honorable Kendra Matthew in and her team. They're going to be down Tevin and all going and buy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tevin should be Tevin know it's good food and good people. You understand? But you know, Sheldon would be a nice thing. You know, take a ride up with the Offspring. Eat your belly full and just...
belly and Osprey doesn't go together with me. You see,
man, coming down is not
SVG.
What I can eat, I walk with fried cuckoo and all that. Oh my God.
You're on your own with that.
That part, eh? That is food, boy. What? You have food for all Sunday, you know.
Man, I'm telling you. See, for I would travel with the plane. I shall go up. I shall have my brunch and be back down.
The plane can hold, man. You want to come down with food and thing. The plane can hold.
Send down a flight special for that. 440-7377. That's the number. And
347-329-3101. Give us a call.
Folks, we've come to the end of the Caribbean Development Bank Board of Governors meeting. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell would have held a closing press conference yesterday reporting on the meeting. And they had some serious discussions, especially in relation to climate change, the effect of what we as humans are doing on the environment. Yeah. So they had some serious discussions and decisions in relation to that. Also, he would have handed over the chairmanship now to the UK. Yeah, okay. Britain take over from Doc. That's all the thing, you understand? Yeah, he handed it over to Britain. You know, the UK take it over now. The governor from UK, they take over the chairmanship now of the Caribbean Development Bank. Right? So that would have come to a close again. We'd like to congratulate the entire team that has been working out there with them. We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Morning.
Hello.
Hi, morning. Okay. Go right ahead, Cami. We're hearing you.
Sheldon.
Yes, my dear. We're hearing you.
Good morning, Sheldon and Devon.
Morning, darling.
Oh, what's going on with y'all now? The weekend start. I want to say good morning to Mr. Watson and Patricia and Matthew and all the Grenadians that is listening abroad. You know what I have today? I said, Sheldon.
Tell me.
I want to speak about this man this morning.
Bring it, come.
I have a lot of tomatoes this morning.
Nice.
So tell the people to come down and who's listening. $2.5. I have dasheen, I have green bananas, and I have callaloo. So I want them to come down and support me today. And the next thing, Mr. Scott, I have two neighbors in Bushes, St. George's.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're not supposed to be lighting fire. And one neighbor lighting fire in front, she plays there and smoking it. And there is another man that have a little piece of garden in the back of my house. He's not living there, but he's lighting fire. For the past few weeks, Mr. Scott, a lot of people lost their home. And I asking them, please, to refrain from lighting fire there. Because if they burn miracle house, you won't go night.
Mm-hmm.
I asking the people in Busheju, refrain from lighting that fire. Okay? That is what I have to say today. Please. Because the police tell you, if you have to light fire, you have to alert your neighbors. And they're not doing that. And they're smoking up all the clothes on the line. And the man walking in, he go. And I cannot do my way saying to light no fire. And now I'm bugging me from breathing.
Mm-hmm.
All me said me was smell of smoke. So I want him to know that.
Okay, my
Mr.
dear.
Scott, you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you clearly.
Thank you and have a blessed day.
All right, Cammy.
Bye-bye.
All right.
So, folks, one, go down by Cami. She have tomatoes on sale. Tomatoes.
Tomatoes and dasheen.
Okay, the red little thing, right? Tomatoes. Yeah. She have it on sale, right? Not potatoes. But she had tomatoes. She had them on
She
sale.
had dasheen. She had kalaloo.
She all had that on sale
She
there?
had green banana.
What?
Let her go on. Well, I know I go on some
Marketing board open my branch by Cami?
Yeah, right. But you know, that whole question of the burning and so a wrong household dwelling places and so I think it's a good courtesy that when we decide to light a fire, right, close to other person's home and so, we should try and notify them. Let them know that, look, you want to get rid of certain things, and so it's a small fire or what the case may be, but you're letting them know that, look, if you have clothes outside and so pick it up. If you want to close up, depending on the time of day, you want to close up and so, but I have to burn and so on, be courteous to your neighbors and everything like that, and things will go right. Because I know of experiences like that when persons just wash their clothes and so, and then somebody light a fire close by and they have to wash that clothes right over again. Understand? And then you have the whole question of discriminate, lighting a fire, burning of bush all over the place, right? It's windy right now. It's not a rainy season as yet, right? We are seeing it, and so be careful, people, how you burn, especially around dwelling homes, please.
You also have to remember that it is an offense to light fires without the permission of the fire brigade
and
the
Ministry
fire
of
department.
Agriculture.
According to the law, I didn't see anything on Ministry of Agriculture. What it says is that if you have to light a fire, you must go to the nearest police station, fire station, and get permission. So it is actually illegal. Some people think that you could just you do a cleanup and you just bank up everything and you light it. It is actually illegal. You can be charged for it. Yeah. So it is an illegal act. So no matter, yes, it's your property. Yes, you're trying to make the place look clean. Yes, you've cleaned up and so on. And you may think that you're doing it in a safe manner, but it is still an offense. Yeah. I was just looking through because I read that on Hard Talk some time ago. I did read that particular bit for you all, and I'm looking for it right now. I just haven't, I can't remember. Use of fire. Right. So let me see. That is under miscellaneous offenses and matters in the criminal code. Yeah. It says, for the purpose of preventing loss, damage, and injury, every person who intends to set fire or to cause fire to be set to any tree, bush, brushwood, underwood, rubbish, guinea or other grass, trash or cane piece shall give notice to all neighbors possessing or in charge of property which might be damaged or destroyed by the fire. If carelessly or improperly used, and take proper precautions to prevent any damage or destruction to the property of his neighbors. And 2, whoever sets fire or causes fire to be set to any tree, bush, brushwood, underwood, rubbish, guinea or other grass, trash or cane piece for any purpose, whether any damage or injury is occasioned to any property or any other person, without notice given and proper precautions taken as in this section provided, shall be liable to a fine of, I ain't getting the amount of money. Right. You go find out when you get charged. Yeah, that's section 147 of the Criminal Code. There's also another part that deals with fire. I'm trying to find it, because there's a part that says that you have to go to the nearest fire station. Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Let me see if I could get it here. Yeah, I'll find it. But folks, it is actually illegal. You can't just set fires like that. And you see the part that was pointed out here. You have to inform your neighbors. You can't just go and light a fire, because if you breach, a case can be brought against you, and you could find yourself in court having to pay money. Yeah, you could find yourself in court having to pay money. That's the law, section 147 of the Criminal Code. And
then you see, and when these things happen, your neighbor might take action or so, and then you say your neighbor don't like you. But if we do the right thing, right? If we do the right thing and just inform our neighbors, neighbor, look, I'm going ready to light a fire. So if you have anything outside or you need to close up, sometimes the neighbor child might be an asthmatic case, suffering from asthma and so, right? So we need to be more courteous and so to our neighbors, and so when we decide to light fires, and seek to get the permission and so for lighting the type of fire that some of us want to light, and just leave it and go. Even unattended. Even
agricultural lands. There's a specific act called the Agricultural Fires Act. You actually have to get a license. Yeah, you have to get a license to set agricultural land on fire. I mean, some of these things are not enforced, but in law, they can be enforced at any time. So it says here, every person before commencing the setting of a fire on land shall apply in writing or in person to an authorized officer for a license to do so, and shall state in his or her application the location and extent of such land and the reasons why, in his or her opinion, burning is necessary or justifiable. So you can't just light it. You have to write. You have to drop in that letter now to the nearest police station, fire station, and try to get permission now to light that land, right? And you have to say how much acres it is, or how much square feet or whatever land that you're going to burn, and why. You can't just clean it without burning. Why it is that you must burn. All right? There's a penalty. Let me see the penalty. I can't see. Where is it? Yeah. Every person who sets fire on, proceeds, aids, or abets the setting of fire on any land, except under the provisions of Section 5, in other words, that you have a license, without a license under this act, shall be liable to a fine of $500 and to imprisonment for 3 months.
Yep. Serious business, man.
$500 and imprisonment for 3 months. Yeah, and I could actually see what the license look like, and so license is hereby granted to so and so for the setting of fire on land situated in the parish of so. The fire may be set between the hours of 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. This license is granted subject to the following terms and condition. This license expires on, and it gives the name, and so you have a license. I could actually see what the license looks like here that you have to have. So, folks, it's not just your lighting fire, and because you find that it's your property, and so you don't care with the smoke go, you don't care nothing about anybody. No, there are laws for this thing. Yeah. It's an offense. Yeah, and you could be charged under the Agricultural Fires Act and under Section 147 of the Criminal Code. Yep. So you could be charged under 2 different sections. Find yourself paying 2 sets of money.
Ain't not easy for one crime. And another serious thing again that persons have been concerned about, the overhanging of trees and so over the road and even over certain buildings and so. Now, we have a case in Grenada where you have the electricity company, and so they have the contracted crews when you report and so for, like you see like the trees overhanging the electrical lines, and so they will send their people and do it, right, for that. But when it comes to other persons who have mango trees, breadfruit trees overhanging and that sort of thing, I mean, we need to pay attention and be very, very careful. One of the things that you need to do also too, right, if you may need assistance, right, to get it cut. And so some place that you can do, talk to NAGMA. Find out about the persons who are the different coordinators for NAGMA within the constituency, right? Or persons there. And, have a conversation with them. They will give you some directions and so as to what to do, how to apply, how to get the assistance from NAGMA in this case. Because the overhanging and so is definitely a problem and so, right, around the place. Also, the private owners, persons, not because you have, people doing that, but if it is your responsibility, you have a mango tree in your land that is overhanging, try and get it cut, right? Don't wait for people to complain or the damage, so it damaged somebody or something. Try and get it cut. Do what you need to do, right, to avoid, any further problems and so. We need to be more courteous and so on, to our own, because I know breadfruit and mango fall on vehicles and break their windscreen and all these type of things, and nothing come out of it. Right, so we must be mindful of all these things, and we are around the hurricane season again. It's about not a good time, to do all the overhangings and that sort of thing.
And yes, folks. So 440-7377, 440-7377,
and 347-329-3101.
Yes, remember those are the numbers that you can call to get on to the inside. Remember, it's Ecstatic 3 tonight. The Royal Grenada Police Force. They also have the Calypso competition taking place tonight, right after the King and Queen show. So quite a lot of activities this weekend. Tomorrow you have the cricket competitions again. Let me give you the rundown. It's South St. George versus Town of St. George at the Tantine playing field, followed. At the same time, you have St. George Northwest versus St. George Southeast at the Mongelou playing field. You have St. Andrew Northeast versus St. David at the Simon playing field. St. Andrew Southeast versus St. Andrew Southwest at the Hope playing field. St. Patrick West versus St. Mark at the MacDonald College. And St. John versus St. Patrick East at the Loreto playing field. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Thanks for the subject on this fire. We were living among two neighbors. And they kept lighting the fires, the bush fires, when they cut the green trimmings. And they're burning it, and it comes straight inside my house. They'll burn pillows, all foam, all filth. They're burning it, and it causing no end of problems. I called the police on 2 occasions. The last time I called the police, the fire brigade, they came with the SSU, a van load of SSU. They passed my house straight and went to the offender's house, pointing the weapon at me in my yard. Because you know why? That individual have many children from many policemen, different policemen. So when they come, they have no interest in me. They're protecting the criminal. So what can we do? First of all, to stop the burning, which I've complained many times. Nothing seems to be done. And when the police come, they're going to protect the criminals.
Now,
what do you think about that?
What I can say is this, that if there is a complaint like that...
I can't hear you at all.
Oh boy, well, you'll have to listen to me on the radio then. No problem. I'll say it afterwards.
Oh Lord, I can't...
Okay. No, what I say, you're going to hear me on the radio. And what I'm saying here is simply this, that there is a complaints mechanism within the Royal Grenada Police Force, that you can contact the Commissioner's office if you think that you have been unfairly treated. Yeah? You can contact, and we know that Commissioner James will make sure that he addresses your concerns. If you believe that someone else has committed a criminal act, and instead of dealing with the perpetrator of that criminal act, that instead the police have turned their attention to you as though you have done the criminal act, then you have the option of addressing your concerns to the Commissioner of Police. Yeah? So you could contact the headquarters and you can speak to one of the deputy commissioners of police or the commissioner of police in relation to that matter, and they will do a thorough investigation and let the chips fall where they may. Even quite recently, there was a situation where I think they demoted a particular officer for dereliction of duty.
Yeah.
That he was supposed to do something, like I think somebody probably made a report or so,
And
he didn't follow up. He neglected to go out and follow up on it, and they demoted him. They demoted him. It was the first time I ever see a note come out in relation to that, though.
Yeah,
but he was demoted.
That's rare, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
you,
sort of in-house matters and so.
yeah, and it would have meant that somebody in the general public would have made a complaint. Yes, so proper procedure was followed, and the individual was demoted.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of justice. I mean, police officers are being judged or even, you know, measured basically of the same yardstick as the civilians, because within the rank of the police force, they have all sorts of investigation going on when you make complaints and so things that we don't know about and may not be public knowledge, you know, per se and so, but they are. And I think, I mean, the Royal Grenada Police Force has been doing an excellent job, right, all around. Yeah, there may be little hiccups in transportation or the length of time in terms of doing certain things, right? But they always, most of the time, 95% of the time, they touch their mark. They get it done. You understand? So we have to continue to support them, and so to continue to provide that service. That's so important service to our nation. All right?
Yes, indeed.
So,
Folks, 440-7377, 440-7377.
and 347-329-3101.
Yes, so that's the thing. And the other thing is this, perception and reality are two totally different things. It may be the perception that the individual have children for police and different things. And so, I mean, perception and reality is two different things. And I tend to think police get a bad rap. A lot of times they get a bad rap. Sometimes, yeah, there is merit in some of the things, but sometimes they get some bad rap for different things, yeah? But the mere fact that they did leave and come up and so on, and there was a issue there, it means that, you know, there is a law. It's a start, yeah? So make a formal complaint to the Commissioner of Police in relation to that matter so that it can be followed up on. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning, Sheldon.
Morning. Yeah, go right ahead. You're live.
How are you doing?
Quite fine.
Listen now, as on that topic this morning, I think the government needs to look into a few things in this country. One of the things that the government needs to look into is the old vehicles that parked in by the road. People just have the vehicle and they just, for some reason, just park it by the road, and when the rain comes, it become a mosquito haven and it could become a health hazard. And I think the government must look into this thing. Don't let people parking vehicles by the road. Let them find some place to put their old vehicles or something like that. And after a while, if they leave it there for too long, they could be charged for the removal of it. And I think the government should look into that. It's far gone, but still, it's better late than never. The fire part. I have my stepdaughter living in a woman. And there's some people who light fires there. And sometimes when she suffers with sinus and that kind of stuff, she has to leave home and come up by me. Which that shouldn't happen. I think she should go and speak to them and let them know there is a fine for this, because I didn't know there was a fine for it. I'm listening to you this morning, and that's why I see Hard Talk is so important to this nation, because a lot of information we get from Hard Talk, we only get from Hard Talk, we get it. So I think I will let her know that there is a fine for this, and she should go and talk to the people who light in the fire, and if they don't do nothing about it, then she could call in the police.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my friend.
Another thing I wanted to talk about again, but that one slipped me.
Okay.
Maybe when I remember, I'll call you back.
No
Most
problem.
definitely.
Yes,
All right.
And seems as though he was listening to me yesterday, because we had quite a long discussion for about an hour or so on the issue of derelict vehicles at the side of the road. And the point that I was making is that, in my view, yesterday I was saying it on the program, the point I was making is that we cannot continue in the same vein as has been happening. We already have narrow roads in Grenada. Yeah, we have narrow roads. It's based on our topography and several other issues. That's why we have narrow roads. You already have narrow roads, and you find situations where somebody just decides that they're going to abandon a vehicle for a couple of years at the side of the road. And then if something happens now and that road has to be utilized, you end up in a situation where traffic pile up for one long direction, in one direction, and they're doing it all over. We have
okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, we have this. I don't know what happened to people like we can't think anymore. We can't think for each other anymore. This is a small country where everybody is supposed to be a love thing. But it seems as though everybody just want to do things by KY, and sometimes the government has to help us because some things will happen. We don't have the power to take action. So we depend on the government. That's why we elect a government to take care of our problems. And sometimes the government allows our problems to go out begging. Now I have this guy is my neighbor. He has a welding shop. He works all day. 9 o'clock in the night, he's grinding. 10 o'clock in the night, he's knocking. 2 o'clock in the morning, he's grinding. 3 o'clock in the morning, he's grinding. Now, Sheldon, it's hard for me when I work, do a hard day's work to go and take a rest and to go and work under this kind of condition. I called the police one morning about 3 o'clock. And I said, officer, well, I want you to come and check a senior for me because these guys, they're just walking and just grinding. And he's like, I mean, I want to go and tell them and make them feel against what they're doing. But if you come as a police officer, I listen to you. The police tell me, go and check the man. And if he ain't stop, call him back. Don't the police want somebody to knock me out? 3 o'clock in the morning, I go and check somebody. Next thing, man, I people trying to knock me out. You is the one I call you. I have a problem, that's why I call you. And it's unbearing, that's why I call you. Now, if you're telling me that, now you may create the next problem. So I just want to throw it out this morning and ask the police force. When somebody have a problem and they call, it's because the problem is overbearing and they don't want trouble. They want problem. They want to create more problem than there is already. So come and check the scenes out because the police are there to serve and protect.
Yep.
And I think that is my calling. That's my calling.
All right, my friend.
Have a nice day, and enjoy your weekend.
All right.
Devon.
Yes, boss. Yeah, good. Take
Continue
care.
good work, man.
All right, thanks.
Bless.
What I can say is this. I'll come to the noise one in a little while, but looking at the issue with the vehicles. Now, people have to stop this thing with just abandoning vehicles at the side of the road. And we're not speaking about John Brown. I hope it's nobody named John Brown. But John Brown, who might have his little Kia car. Let me just say Kia boy. Kia doesn't really give him that much problem. But anyway, he have a piece of car. And the car is giving some problems. He has to get a part. And the part is difficult to find in Grenada. So he has to get someone overseas to source the part and send it for him. He lives at a particular location, so the car is parked across the road from there for a couple of days or a couple of weeks while the part is sourced and comes for him to get the car moving again. That's one situation. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't agree with the vehicle being there for a couple of weeks, but you might be able to, in your mind, understand a situation like that.
Yep.
What I cannot understand is the people that have no intention of fixing a vehicle, but just decide that they abandon it, and some of them ain't even putting it where they live in. They come in and put it where you live in.
And they ban you on, you know.
Or where you at to pass, yeah. And they just abandon a vehicle at the side of the road. So 1 year, 2 year truck, van, all kind of thing, park up at the side of the road. And it is creating mosquitoes, it is breeding rodents, all sorts of things, causing problems for other people. Meanwhile, the person who park it up there and gone their merry way, enjoying life. My view is simply this. You give notice that the vehicle, you put a notice on it, the environmental officer should go and put a notice on it, that vehicle has to be removed within 72 hours. 72 hours. I say give them no more than 3 days. If it's there for 3 years, you should be able to move it in 3 days. If not, the government steps in and moves the vehicle. When the government moves the vehicle, according to who the owner is, they find out who the owner is and they send a bill to the owner for towing the vehicle. Whether it's 150 or 250 or so, send a bill to them that they have to pay or you end up in court. Right? It's like a ticket, like you get a traffic ticket. Pay the bill or end up in court. When that vehicle is taken, it should be stripped. So you scrap it. You take whatever parts are usable out of it and you place it into a storeroom. You label it properly. You put it into a storeroom And those parts can be offered for sale to the different garages and so on the island, and even other islands. You never know. Offer the parts for sale so that government could make back money, because it's basically could be as much as $1 million in vehicles sit down all across the country. Pick them up, get the parts, sell the parts, and sell the rest of it as scrap iron.
Scrap metal, right there.
Sell it as scrap metal, get back money. That will fund itself. That will fund the entire operation. So people then will know they can't leave the vehicle at the side of the government road. Because a road that should be 2-lane, and we already have the road so small already, and it's really difficult to have the 2-lane. You already have some roads that should be 2-lane, made into 1-lane, because people just decide how they park in. Or they just leaving a vehicle. And sometimes watch the vehicle you've seen, all kind of bush that grow up underneath inside it, all kind of thing. They're just blocking areas with it. I say, pass wrong, issue notice. You must go through a process, issue notice, and take them. You have to be careful though. You don't want to take a man vehicle that you know he have a little, he just had 2 weeks he have it park up there because he looking for something and he ain't get that part yet. So he have the vehicle park up, he can't use it. You don't want to go down that road. But there are people, a hot truck and all kind of thing park up at the side of the road in the bush, and they don't, sometimes they ain't even living in that village. They live in the next village. But they see a spot and they just park up a vehicle and they leave it there. Some of them not even on the road, but they're next to the road. And they are causing mosquitoes and these different things. Well, get rid of them.
I want to make mention of...
There's some blowtorch work.
Yeah, a particular area in St. George, Bolio to be precise. Right? Just as you leave Snow Corner Junction, you're going up that hill there, going up to the, to Willis. There is sometimes 3-4 vehicles parked on that little piece of stretch going up there. And it is so dangerous. Now imagine a vehicle coming down from Granitown or Willis, Vandom, that area. And it coming around that corner. And as it busts around that corner, there is about 3-4 vehicles parked up on your right. What if vehicles are coming up from St. George's, Bolio way coming up, right? What is the problem? I've seen it every day, right? Where vehicles coming around that corner and almost meet an accident.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
How are you doing?
All right, not too bad.
Sheldon, how are you doing?
Hey, quite fine.
I throw that question yesterday. You see, you get a lot from it, yeah?
Continue, caller.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you said the same.
Yeah, but continue. Go ahead. Yeah.
Pose, and you see, getting a lot out of it because it's a benefit. You know, it's benefit. It's benefit for all, right? At the end of the day. So, I would like to. I would like to throw out something else again today, right? Regarding our constitution and what through the referendum that we dealt with here. Instead, what I'm saying is that if nobody is win the seat, right? And we have the opposition party, they have 15 candidates as well. Instead of them recommending, or the governor general asks them to recommend 3 people, they should be like, if you look at it and you say we have 15 candidates and the candidates which win the seats with the highest voters should be automatically qualified. I don't know if that makes sense to you. To make it easy, you understand what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to be the leader, because once Sheldon Scott have 2,000 votes and Devon has 1,500, Sheldon has high vote, you're supposed to be qualified and win be in the opposition.
I don't agree. Because you have some constituencies that have much more voters than others. So you may have, and for instance, you could have an opposition candidate in St. David, who actually, when you check the number of people that vote for them, it's higher than 2 candidates who win put together. For instance, the St. Mark or the St. Mark constituency, or one of the St. Patrick constituencies. The number of electors in those constituencies is far less than the number of electors overall in St. David. So you may find a situation that you may have a losing candidate in St. David that may end up with more votes than 2 candidates in another area who have won their seats put together. But that does not make that person more qualified than a losing candidate from another constituency. I think that that party still has to come together and decide who it is in that kind of situation that they would want to best represent their interests. Not based on the number of votes you get, because if all constituencies had exactly 10,000 voters, you could say that. But not in a situation when every constituency have a different number of electors. The South St. George, they have the largest number of electors on the electoral scroll, followed by St. David. So to simply say, because the person, well, you'll always end up with the person who lose in one or the other of those constituencies being the person, if it's simply based on the number of people vote for them. You understand where I'm getting at? Yeah. If it is an even thing that every constituency had the same number of voters, that's a difference. But not in a situation where it varies.
You cannot break it up there. The point also I was trying to make is not every time the party leader has to be, or the deputy leader has to be in the, even that they lose, because in the referendum we were trying to have an opposition, okay? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be the leader or the deputy leader. There are other, the point
well, let me stick a pin right there. You're wrong. And when I'm saying you're wrong in what you perceived was attempted to be done. And you're also wrong in that you may not understand the aspect of the existing Constitution of Grenada. The Constitution of Grenada, as well as the proposed amendment to the Constitution regarding the leader of the opposition, has never made any reference to party leader. The Constitution does not make reference to any political parties or parties. It makes reference to individuals and the leader of the opposition at present. If you have to have a leader of the opposition, according to the Constitution of Grenada, it does not speak of the political leader or deputy political leader or person in charge or president or anything of the party that gains the highest amount of seats or votes. It speaks to the person who controls the support of the majority of members who do not support the government. That person doesn't have to be the leader. The Prime Minister of Grenada does not necessarily have to be the leader of the party that won the election. It is the person who controls the majority support of MPs on the ruling side in the House, or the majority support of MPs in the House overall. Yes, so there's no reference to political parties there. So that's what do you call it? A moot point? A mute point? A moot point?
All right, no problem. I understand. But Sheldon, Sheldon, hello.
Yes, we're here.
When you call from a cell phone, you're not hearing you. But when I'm calling from a landline, I'm getting you on the phone. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that one is beyond us here at the studio. I think that one is with the company.
Because I'm calling from my landline.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you clear on landline, but I'm not getting, when I'm calling you from cell phone, I'm not hearing you.
Okay. All right, my brother.
What?
Okay, yeah. I think some persons misunderstand that. Understand, your prime minister, okay, you're in charge of a political party. The political party wins the election. The governor general will invite the person who, in their view, controls, and when I say in their view, obviously, everybody would have to sign and say, well, this is who we support, or everybody would have to say, this is who we support. And if there's generally the governor general would know this is the person who, those people who are in that political organization or the mass majority of people support. If there's any question to it, they can go to the governor general and say, we do not support this person as prime minister, and anyone can be selected. Yeah? So it is a technical one. The Constitution of Grenada makes no reference to political parties or political organizations.
Good morning and welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning
to you, my friend.
And pleasant good morning to you all, and a good morning to your listening audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm listening to you all attentively and very carefully because it's the weekend, so I don't want to go into the weekend, lacking any form of information. No, Mr. Scott, let us cut through the chase, you and Devon. The law regarding the lighting of fire that you talk about, is this law new?
No.
Lighting of fires, no.
Right.
No.
All right. Nice.
It's been around, but it hasn't been enforced as such.
Yeah, we get in there. So that is not new. No. Do you find, is there a problem with abandoned vehicle lying by our roadside permanently? No, man, it's not a problem. Does dogs without owners peruse in our commercial area? Is this a problem? No, man, it's not a problem. Public transportation exceeding their capacity? Not a problem. Vehicles on the road that could not have passed the examination check. We see them. We know them. No, not a problem. Dogs ripping up garbage in our area where we put it out. Not a problem. Full up a cooler with some alcoholic beverages, pull up on any sidewalk and start selling. Mr. Scott, I'm saying all of these things here. Why do we allow these things to go unchecked? Now, when we allow these things to go unchecked, what it means is that people who are observing these things, you know what they do? They move on to something else. Mr. Scott and Devon, gentlemen, we have to enforce the laws of Grenada. Whether it's people just packing up and blocking up our sidewalks to sell or whatever, listen, the point is that we may not have a place where you could go and sell your goods, but we know for a fact that it is against the law to pull up on that sidewalk to sell your goods. We know that. So let us enforce the law. And as a result of by us and by the powers that be enforcing the law, those who are the lawbreakers will come to the powers that be in terms of securing a conducive environment to ply their trade, to do what they have to do. But I find we are letting too much things, recklessness goes unchecked, and then after it creates a problem, the government has to solve it. We are allowing people to go and just occupy public lands. And then after they build up a whole village, and then now we have to use that area there for some kind of, viable commercial activity. You know what? We have to go and find place to put these folks that violated the law of the land in the first place. Mr. Scott, we did not give the present government 15 seats by accident. We give them 15 seats because we believe that they are the best organization and the best group of people to govern our affairs. There are some actions that will be taken by this administration that will not even be popular with those of us who support them. But at the end of the day, they have to make decision that is in the best interest of everybody. And we did not elect them for the first 6 months of 5 years or for the first year of 5 years. We elect them for a 5-year period, and we're going to judge them based on what they have done over that 5-year period, not by 1 year or 2 years, not how busy it is now or how slow it is now. We are in it for over a period of time. So I'm saying all of this to say that, Mr. Scott, there are too many things that goes unchecked. Give me a second here. Some people just open up a mechanic shop, blocking up the road, no problem. I wouldn't call it the location, but one of our prominent location, you understand, where we're going to have big activities. When I look at the fencing that's been put up in that area, I'm saying to myself, I'm a guy with common sense. St. Mary's RC in Lafayette is my alma mater. I mean, there must be regulation in place to say, look, if you're living in such an area, if you're living next to certain, community, you just cannot do these things. Is not acceptable. So I'm saying all of this to say that let us enforce the law and let the chips fall where they may. At the end of the day, there are people who may not agree with us now, but at the end of the day, when they see the bigger picture, they will be more than supportive of the action taken. Gentlemen, have a pleasant weekend.
Okay, my friend. Wonderful.
And I understand where the caller is coming from, but you also have to understand another aspect of things. In the Grenadian society, we are a people that run small business. We like small businesses, yeah? You find a lot of Grenadians are involved in operating their own business, their own small business.
Entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah, we have that sort of spirit with us. Yes. And even before the revolution, that has always been Grenadians. Whether it's that we go in and take skin up and sell to get school books and so to go to school, it's always been part of Grenadians that we do these sort of things. And while, yes, there are laws and there are things that have to be done, you also have to understand the context of people's ability to make a living. Yeah, okay. I do not agree. I do not agree with guys having the garages on the side of the road and taking up some good piece of road too. Like as soon as government pass and they do a road and they concrete a road here or you pave a road there, some fellas just watch it and they're looking at the turning spot and they go in and they're starting to park up a car. They started one car fixing in the turning spot, that turned to two, that turned to three, and by the time you look, you're seeing about 20-something cars along that nice new piece of road that should have been 2 lane, that is suddenly 1 lane. All of a sudden, the 2 lane end up into 1 lane. It's unfair to the road users. It's unfair to every Grenadian whose money paid to fix the road. It's unfair. And by the time you look, you see they put up a little metal structure and then they start to expand. And next thing you know, so-and-so garage at the side of the road, blocking the road. And then some of the vehicles, it didn't look like they could fix them or they could come back, so they have them there for parts. But they park up there for years and they're just pulling out parts when that type of vehicle or a vehicle that can use that type of parts come around and they need it. You see they're pulling out bits and pieces of it. But sometimes there are some of them vehicles around, some of them garage, years, Devon a lie.
Yeah, like at all. I mean,
just pulling out parts.
Yeah, just taking out parts.
I think that what needs to happen is that these individuals need to have a chat with their MP and you could locate a nice piece of land within the country because it's a business. It is a service that you're offering to the general public. You are making a living. You ain't going and thief people thing. You're making a living. So nobody don't want to stop you from making a living. But your living cannot deprive other people of their freedom of movement and so on. Yeah? So they should go and have a little chat with their MP. And they go locate a nice piece of land somewhere within the constituency. And you're going to pay for it. No, you ain't getting it free. You're going to pay for it, and you will shift operations to that piece of land.
And the mere fact that you have all these vehicles parked up on the side of the road and your garage is right there, that means you have business. You're providing a service that people are appreciating.
You have to pay.
Okay, so go to your MP, find out where you have a piece of location, a piece of land that you could either develop and so on and work something out. And you know.
Or you may have you may have your piece of land, and your piece of land might be right next to the road, but you do not own the road, brother.
You don't.
You don't own the road.
And take what you can work with. Don't take more than what you can. Some of you only have a pair of hands, but you want to take all 20 and 30 vehicles.
Yeah, so I mean...
That don't make sense.
It is one thing to have your nice little operation thing. Right. Nobody wants to deprive you of that, because in my mind, if you get off from that location, then you get a proper location that you could park your vehicles proper and thing, and you could
More
scrap
business.
where you have to scrap and all that kind of thing, and you take your parts and you put them into a little storeroom and you do what you have to do. You might be able to hire 1 or 2 imani and train them how to do auto repair, auto body or auto repair, electrical and all them kind of thing. You might be able to take a little to say create an opportunity and you're creating employment.
Exactly.
Yeah? You're expanding your operation, you're coming off on the side of the road. This side of the road thing cannot continue, and then
it's dangerous.
When you're doing the engine now, you take all the old oil and thing when you're changing oil and you pour it down the drain, it run down to the river and then it run down to the sea.
Problems.
Because you have no proper disposal.
No
so
problems.
you take the old oil, you take the this other thing, the not antifreeze in Grenada is another thing.
Transmission oil.
The transmission oil.
the coolant.
The coolant.
Yeah.
You take all this coolant and you take the oil and you take all this thing and you just pour it down the drain.
That's dangerous.
Pour it down. That's what's going on. They're pouring it down the drain. So down the drain, into the river, kill all the crayfish, kill all them thing and them, and then down to the sea.
No problem.
That's what happens, and we need to stop that. We cannot continue to speak about the environment and have these things happening.
And then even with some of you guys mechanic, you may right on the side of the road, you go under the vehicle, you just uncap the thing, oil fall on the ground in the road, then you move the vehicle and the oil stays right there. You create accident. Yeah, a vehicle coming there, you jam a brake, can't stand up because of the oil you deposit on the road. And so we have to be mindful of others when we do a lot of things. Yes, you provide a service, a much needed service, but you have to consider the road users.
Yeah.
Right? You must.
And the new leader of the opposition was just sworn in Barbados. About 10 minutes ago.
Young guy, man.
What young guy? This man look older than me. This
well, I know from a distance he's looking young. But that's good. That's good. That's good for Barbados. Yeah. So
I know if it's good for Barbados. And the man said when you retire and thing, I tell all your feelings are set up. Feel that I'm just so.
No, because you see, in that happening, it gives the Prime Minister and the team much more time to work on the problems in Barbados instead of having to go and make a different amendments immediately and so on. And let business continue.
They should still make the amendments. Come in line like Grenada. Let the Governor General be able to appoint in the absence of a leader of the opposition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, folks. 4407377 4407377. So yeah, the roadside's garage, man. I mean, come on, seriously. And then is it damaging of the road and this kind of thing too? You have some of these cement trucks, especially along the eastern side over the last few nights. Gravel and cement ending up at the side of the roads. It is affecting the bus drivers and the other people using those roads. Bikemen, be careful when you're going up on the eastern side, because they're throwing the cement at the side of the road. I don't think it's being willfully done, but it is being done through the fact that some of these things are overloading. And then you have the others that go up behind, in True Blue there, up behind Bananas, and dump all the cement. Dump the excess cement all over the place up there. Yes, I know. I have pictures. Don't worry. Some of you will get a bill just now from government for cleaning up the environment in some of those areas.
I can't understand. You operate in a business, right? And you have to throw concrete. I mean, that's money, right? Also, too, you have your vehicle transporting ready-mix concrete, and it's on the road, and concrete is coming out of it. That don't make any sense. And the police and people in the Ministry of Environment should not play any games with these serious issues. They should work on it immediately. Ticket them, charge them, because it's dangerous. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, Doc.
It's morning.
Morning.
Yes, morning.
Yes,
sir.
yes. Gentlemen, there was thanks for updating us on the situation. So, Moni became aware of it, as you mentioned it a little while earlier. So I'll reserve comments
for now.
A later date. However, I want to hail the contribution of witness we continue to have over the days and weeks and months by lawyer Ruggles Ferguson regarding the Caribbean Court of Justice. I listened to the gentleman on Wednesday night, as he was questioned by persons who are not of that opinion. I thought, he was very eloquent and was able to give some reasoning, as to the logic behind in favor of our country acceding to the Caribbean Court of Justice as a final court of appeal. You know, I'm very much impressed by what the growth I have seen intellectually of Brother Ruggles, you know, and I think that is expressed is recognized by his leadership at the level of the wider Caribbean, you know, amongst the organizations of his legal fraternity. So I just want to encourage him. You know, I failed to get through that night to really offer him this sounding of solidarity that I think he needs at this time, because despite the objections raised by persons, you know, he continue to show reasons why the concerns, you know, ought not really to be any hindrance to encouraging our people to really do something that is undoubtedly in the best interest of our country and the wider Caribbean. That's what I wish to say at this point in time.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And one of the callers earlier had raised an issue, and I did promise I'd get back to it in relation to the noise. Now, here's what. There is the Noise Pollution Act, and it is actually illegal to be carrying out that type of work those hours of the morning. Yeah, it is illegal. Let me see. Under abatement of nuisance 7, where the Commissioner of Police is satisfied that noise amounting to a nuisance exists or is likely to occur or reoccur or continue in any area of the state of Grenada, the Commissioner may serve a notice requiring the abatement or reduction of the nuisance, or prohibiting or restricting its occurrence or reoccurrence or continuation, and requiring execution of such work and the taking of such other steps as may be necessary for the purpose of the notice or may be specified in this notice. So there are laws in place in relation to, like, for instance, someone carrying out
hello, morning.
Morning. Go right ahead.
Morning, Sheldon.
Morning. Go right
How
ahead.
How you doing?
Quite fine.
Okay then. No, you're all on the topic about the road with the vehicle and whatnot, but I just want to speak about the people and them that have their houses by the hills, right? The bill, right? Where do they get road to bring the lumber to bill? When they finish bill now, they calling on government and say they want road. I want to know if they have plan and deed for the land, because if it's government land, they just squatting on it, and now they want to hold government in their throat and say we want road and we have road and all sorts of things. And this thing had to stop. Just as in the back and in Point Celine down yonder, where the people, they move them, they put them in the next area, and the piece of land there, and a set of people coming down there now and putting up, and they're making confusion. I want to know if they have plan and deed for the piece of land.
Oh, boy.
Because this thing is not right. Oh, government ain't giving us road. Look, we can't go. But when there was billing, where the road they get to, where they pass with the lumber to go to bill?
I'll tell you this, though. In some countries, I'm not saying that's the case in Grenada, but I know in some countries in the region, if persons have decided that they are going to squat in a particular area, they've decided to put up a squatter community.
Yeah.
It is a policy of the government not to provide certain services to that area. They will provide water, but they would not provide other services because their intention to move those persons from the area.
Okay.
But in order to have the area, you must have the area clean, and so people must have access to water. It's a basic human right.
Yeah.
They would make sure that they have water going to that area. But other things like saying they're going to force and put electricity, or they're going to force and put in other services and so in that community, they don't do it. Yeah, that's how some regional governments operate. They will not put in an infrastructure for squatter communities.
Okay.
And in that case, eventually when they do create a housing project or so, and they say, well, okay, those of you living in place A have to move to that location.
Okay.
The persons are more willing to move to that location.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
But I do agree that it is an issue, not only in the south, but several parts of the island, that you have persons that just go and build in a place and just decide government must provide a service to them. When you have people who are legally...
kind of hard.
When people are legally in other areas and they need roads too, they're legally in another area. You have legal communities that people need roads and things too. But we at the end of the day, you don't want to be going in and break down a house with a woman with 3 and 4 children inside there and that sort of thing. So until the alternative is put in place, you would have to maintain what is there right now. Until an alternative is put in place, and you can move the people. You can't just mash it down and say, well, don't go there.
Okay.
We move away from there.
But if you
That's
could
inhuman.
prevent them from billing, start billing.
Yeah. That part.
And most of them come from the countryside. They leave their house in the countryside and they're coming down. And anyway, they see a spot, they figure that they could squat on it and put up a house. Next, they're calling for government. We want light, we want water. But I don't find that is right.
Okay. All right, my dear.
Okay, then. Have a nice weekend.
All right.
Okay.
You know, some of these issues, the whole question of squatting and so, I think is to a lesser extent to with a lot of us in the different communities or negligence. When we see, for example, persons attempting to come and squat in areas that we know will create problems and so after, as a community, we must come together and get and address these issues, right? Contact the representative, contact government, let them know of the issue, and so we could avoid, this thing prolonging. Catch it while it starts, and then, we could be able to control it. Good morning and welcome.
Hello? Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Scott, and and good morning to Devon.
Good morning, sir.
I tend to agree with what the lady is saying just now there. But we have to understand government is responsible for these things that are happening. And government have to take the blame now. It might not be this one directly, no, but governments in the past and present government allow people to do those things. It becomes a problem now. Same thing happening with side road sellers. You allow a system to go on. People think that is a right they have after. So the government got to take the blame for it. You see the amount of sidewalk people that they cannot move now? It was wrong. The government allow it to happen. Different politicians give privilege. Mr. Scott, these things used to happen and continue happening to some extent, where politicians were giving people privilege to do certain things. And today we're suffering for it. You hear people tell you the vehicle can't come in there because there's no road and whatnot. In the first case, they know they were squatting. Government allowed them to squat. The government was a land that people have not paid for over the years. And every government come, they tell you about it, and you just rule over and whatnot. We have areas in Guavia, Loreto, people catching the hell when rainfall to go in the back there, and government allow people to go and build houses there because government ministers actually give people right away to go and build houses there. These things must be controlled. And if you allow it to happen, and it happens, you allow Harry to do it, Paul will do it, you allow Jane to do it, Jim will do it. And with no control. So the government, yes, it's going to make the government a little bit unpopular, but government must stand firm now and put restrictions in these places. Otherwise, you can't helter-skelter. Road work will be starting, they say soon. There are a lot of people that do not do a complete and fine day's work on the road, and supervision is away. We don't expect the minister to go and watch people walk road, but we know of supervision. Mr. Scott, you all know that. You know of people who are not pulling their weight, who are not doing what they expected to do, and they get away scotch-free. Some people going to work for one, they have to work for 10 days, they go to work for 2 days, and they want to claim 10 days work. Government have to put their foot on these things and control them. Yes, it's going to make you unpopular, but you have to make a start somewhere. And if we continue letting this thing happen, we continue saying the same thing over and over. And NMP going to go to power, and next one going to come, the same thing going to happen. There have to be a time when you stop it. A lot of people not giving satisfaction when they go on the road work. You seen there's a area up in Guam right here now where a piece of stone came down on the bank on the side of a drain. From the NSC days to this day, it is there in the drain right now. Just it coming up in border, before you take border garage. That have been there years. We have a corner coming up Guam State Hill where a gentleman cut a gap, right? That he did some concrete work there, and the water is slipping under there. Every government from the NDC to NMP knows about it. It was being complained. We have a decent piece of road there. It is deteriorating now. Everybody knows about it, and you let it continue happening. Something have to be. The road officers know about it. The actual maintenance person know about it. The actual workers know about it. It soon as the rain comes, it clogs up under there, and the water runs back into the road and cause problem. Everybody knows about it. Everybody concerned. We don't expect the minister to do it. People have to do what they've been paid to do. And we have to see, these authorities have to see that people carry out what is their responsibility. And I feel firm on what I'm saying. It have to be. You can't let a nice, good piece of road that could last for 20 years, you are allowing it to deteriorate. And then we're talking about government thing. It costing over $2 million to do a mile of road. But we mashing up a mile of road in less than a year. That cannot continue. And somebody have to stock out on it, and somebody have to take the stand.
Right, Mr. Bridgman.
And I feel firm about that the people, I hope when we go out and this new work this time around, that we see some more discipline, some more control.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, my friend.
The thing is this, government. The problem is us, the people. And we always want to blame government and run down government and government. But it starts with us. It's like right now, we know that dengue fever is starting to make some waves through the Caribbean. Dengue fever is out there. And you know, usually you hear about it in June, July. By August, it starts to spread. And by September, half of the population already sick and who home and who pressure up and all sorts of things with it. But it's not government. It's us to clean our communities and reduce the amount of mosquitoes.
Yeah, we have to be more proactive with a lot of these things, you know.
If you want to keep your area dirty, you want to keep your area dirty. And you want to clean up the garbage around your area. You don't want to come together as a community and clean up the garbage around there. Your area will have a higher concentration of mosquitoes than other areas that are cleaned. That's a fact. If you want to wear personally, you want to wear a little piece of clothes with most of your body outside, exposing most of your skin to mosquitoes, you're going to get bites. That is not government fault. That is you. Yes, government has a responsibility. They're going to pass around and fog. But when they fog, they are going to kill the adult ones. And then before the night is over, you're going to see some of the little ones coming out, start to hatch and come out and create problems again. Government shouldn't have to come to tell nobody, don't leave your vehicle at the side of the road. That is you doing it. Yeah, before we have to put a mechanism in place and go and get wreckers and find a place to go and put the vehicles and get people to chop it up, we supposed to know, don't put it there. We have to take responsibility as the Grenadian people, and I think a lot of us try to escape it and then start to government this and government that and government the other. Yes, government has their responsibility, but each and every single Grenadian or person living in Grenada, even if they're not Grenadians, have a responsibility as well. We all have a responsibility. Whether it's keeping our community clean, I see somebody send a video of me this morning, a vehicle, I could call the vehicle number, you know, because it's on tape. The vehicle just pull up in Woodlands, they open the door and they just fling out garbage, just throw it at the side of the road. You're talking about dengue in the region, you know, but they just pull up and they just throw the garbage at the side of the road. Now what has happened? My police officer have to be on point exactly there right now to charge them with littering, or a litter warden has to be right there to charge them with littering immediately. They're supposed to have enough responsibility to know you don't do that. that we want to keep our country clean. That somebody visiting don't pass and look at that now and say, yes, your Grenadians nasty, look how they're just throwing garbage all over the place. We have personal responsibility. We have a responsibility as Grenadians first and foremost to do certain things. But some of us want to leave it up to government in doing this and government in doing that and government the other and government the other and government the other. As a parliamentarian, you sit in cabinet and you may decide, okay, we're having the debushing program, and then the process goes ahead within the constituency. People get the debushing contracts, and so some people do good, some people don't do good. It's not the fault of the government. Because if government don't go and you don't take the people on the debushing program now, you hear, oh, because the cousin mother is a NDC, you feel them is 1, 2 and you don't take them. They're jumping on all radio station. You don't hire them because they is NDC. Not because they're not doing quality work, you know. Not because they're not showing up to do the job. Oh, all you don't want to hire them, all you hire them because they're associated somewhere with the NDC. When all you as a politician might be trying to do is ensure that the job is done properly, or the administrators within the ministry are trying to do is ensure that the job is done properly. But all of a sudden, it's because of politics. That's where they run around and they start to say, and they start to put up all kind of nasty thing about you on the internet. Oh, you're this and you're that. We as Grenadians have the first responsibility. With or without our government, we as Grenadians have the first responsibility. And the government has their responsibility. I'm not saying that the government doesn't have responsibility. They have their responsibility as well. But the first line of defense is you. Whether we're talking about the state of a road, that you go and you park up and the water start to pass around here and it start to dig up the road, or you as the contractor who decide that you're going and drive a caterpillar on a brand new concrete road. You're telling me that a police officer, so police officers omnipotent, they like Jesus Christ, they all over, they ever seeing, they all seeing, they all over. You as the contractor have to know that you can't be driving the cement truck overflowing and dirtying the side of the road, or driving the caterpillar truck up the brand new concrete road, chipping up the end of it and cracking it up, or going somewhere and dumping cement, or overloading the gravel truck so that the gravel falls all over the Granitang Road. One of the most, what we could put it, is a dangerous road to drive, especially if you don't know it. And to go and create that problem by dropping gravel on it, you know better. Nobody had to tell you that. Nobody had to stand up like massa over you with a big stick to beat you. You know better. Yes, government has the responsibility, but that doesn't take away our personal responsibilities. And we need to learn that. We need to learn that. Yeah?
There are a number of practices, in my view, as we get to the closing. A number of practices that we do, we condone every day, that is wrong, and we just brush it aside and say, don't worry that the government will take care of that or this person will take care of it. But it's our responsibility as citizens, as human beings, to ensure, one, that we keep our surroundings clean. We don't eat inside of our houses and leave the dirty plates all over the place for somebody to pick it up. That's where it starts. It starts from the home. We teach our children to do certain things that you don't expect them to do outside, and so there are a lot of practices that we continue to condone that we have to stop, right? We have to do better. We have to meet our neighbors and meet our friends and say, look, you're doing something wrong. You have to stop it, right? That is one of the ways that we will get a lot of things done, and we'll be mindful of, I mean, when you look at all these diseases like dengue and all these things, and these are things that we can prevent if we do the right thing.
Yes, indeed. All right, folks, just a latest piece out of Barbados again. Atherley has said that his leaving the Barbados Labour Party does not mean that he had any confusion with the Barbados Labour Party. He has no problem with them. He is not upset because he didn't get a ministerial portfolio. It was simply because they have a constitutional crisis where they do not have a leader of the opposition, and he thought it was necessary that somebody take their position. So he decided to go across and become in fact, the Barbados Labour Party people attended his swearing in. So he's just independent. He's not forming a party. He'll select his 2 senators shortly.
That's a true Barbadian patriot.
Yeah,
somebody
so
who
was calling him all kind of name and thing. They boy, what? They make a joke with that.
Somebody who's concerned about not just himself or the party, but for the well-being of Barbados. I think he did make a good step.
Folks, we've got to wrap. It's 12 o'clock. Just to remind you all, the cricket competition tomorrow. So remember, Tantine playing field, Monju playing field, Simon playing field, Hope playing field, MacDonald College playing ground, and at Loreto playing field. A new national party will be having cricket matches going on tomorrow. The massive cleanup is going to be taking place on Sunday at the St. George cruise ship terminal to the bus terminal. Also in St. Andrew on the Telescope Beach. Contact your constituency offices, or you could call 440-1875-1876 for more information. Additionally, tonight, Ecstatic 3. It's going to be taking place tonight. Ecstatic 3. Tonight at the Grenada Trade Center from 7, Devon, or 6?
Yeah, from 7.
The gates open at 6.
Gates open at 6.
Yeah.
I'll be there at 2:30.
Yeah, so 7. In fact, I'm going down there now and block my space. All right, so it's going to be taking place. Also, those of you who are out there and you're looking for something tomorrow night, remember the Miss Caribbean United pageant from 7:30 tomorrow night is going to be taking place at the Spice Basket. All right, so we'll be having ladies from Venezuela, Margarita, Barbados, one of the Dutch islands. I can't remember the Dutch island. Yeah, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada. Yeah, all of them, 11 young ladies. They'll be out there vying for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Yeah, kind of regional pageant being hosted in Grenada. Yeah. And that'll be taking place at the Spice Basket tomorrow. You can check the Spice Mass Corporation for your tickets, or you could head on down there and pay at the door, man. It's going to be a wonderful one. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful one. Head on out there tomorrow. So you have activities tonight. You have thing tomorrow morning. You have the brunch up in Carriacou outside the Public Workers Building. All kind of things. Somebody put it in a container, send it down for us. Honorable Kindra Matthew and Stewart, organize your boys. And let's say a special good morning to the Honorable Elvin Nimrod. We hope that you're having a fabulous day today, sir. Kakabawi for Kakabawi.
Yeah,
Indeed. That's all the time we have for today, Devon. Boy, we gotta go.
Yep.
We gotta go.
It's a weekend. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Shotman, what you have, boy?
Shotman have mutton by Shotman all the way in there. All right. So for those of you the listening audience, remember, in whatever you say, whatever you do, you want to do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
And we are out of here.
Peace out.